Hey everybody, it's Daniel Khan. I'm back again after a long time, but we're here for a third video. And today I just want to talk about the mentality you need to pursue if you're planning on being a pre-medical student. So the first element of this, I see there's four main parts. The first one is self-sacrifice. You have to be willing to, spend extra time studying, have an extra investment in medicine compared to maybe other fields. And I'm not criticizing other fields, but like, for example, we all know the time commitment to becoming an established physician is much longer than, say, becoming a computer engineer, which may be done with a bachelor's degree. And I'm not saying that's wrong or bad, but it's just a longer time commitment. So you have to realize the sacrifice in terms of the time you have to spend to get this education, the financial costs, as well as the pure hard work aspect. Because, this job is mainly the higher up doctors, the ones who make the policies and set the field for medicine are mainly boomer kind of people, elderly 60s, 70s, these kinds of people. And to them, the idea of working hard and their work ethic is different than what, younger people like us expect nowadays. A lot of people work from home. They're expecting 40 hours a week or less. Medicine is not like that because it's mostly run by, again, this older generation, which I'm not criticizing. It's just the way, they were taught. That's the way, since now they're the leaders of the field, that's the way they do it. And of course, in medicine, you see doctors working long hours on call. So you have to be aware of these things in terms of self-sacrifice. The second point is having a deep sense of empathy. If you're somebody who struggles to relate with people, it's time to start developing on that. Maybe watching TV shows or reading books about emotions or anything really, or just being more open about yourself instead of hiding, things you might be insecure, feel sad or angry about. And this will help you understand that, your issues aren't, I'm not saying they're not unique, but a lot of the feelings you may have about something, you'll find out, other people have that too. And that'll allow you to relate with patients, that'll allow you to relate with your coworkers. And having that deep sense of empathy will allow you to treat patients better in the future as a future physician, because it's important to understand, when somebody's describing a situation, you can actually relate to it. And then maybe that, like for example, like let's say somebody, has a musculoskeletal injury, and the way they describe it, oh, then you remember in your own eyes, hey, I had something similar happen to me and I remember exactly how that felt. And that'll help you build a better relationship with your patients when you explain these things and have that kind of empathy. Third point would be leadership. Being a physician requires you to be basically like a leader for your community. You have an advanced education that's usually longer than many other people, so you have a very expertise and skilled clinical knowledge, as well as patient relationships. You have to know how to be good at that. And of course, being a doctor is kind of somewhat a businessman as well, because you're selling your service in a way. And since you have all these big responsibilities along with caring for patients, and depending where you end up, treating people on the verge of life or death, and so you basically are required to also be a leader in your community. People are going to ask you for advice. People might stop you in the street, hey, that's Doctor XYZ, would you mind helping me with this? Or hey, can you look at this? That happens. I've heard it happen from different doctors. And so basically people look up to you because you when you're a physician, you're saying that you're going to serve my community. So what does that mean? That means you're stepping up to take a leadership role to serve others, kind of like a politician. Except, well, we're not here for corruption or playing games with money. We're here to just provide healthcare, that's all. So that's another aspect, leadership. And the fourth is having a stone cold mentality. And I mean, medicine, it might sound beautiful at times, like, oh, saving a patient's life, or wow, this person, their health improved after a certain treatment. And of course, these things are nice. But at the same time, medicine has its own brutal and depressing kind of realities. A lot of patients may have chronic illnesses. Some people are incurable. Some people are terminally ill. And it's up to you to figure out ways on how you cope with these issues, because as a physician, you're going to see these people. You're going to see people potentially die right before your eyes. And, that's not normal. That's just not normal. And it's up to you to figure out ways to not get emotionally disturbed by these things. Or I'm not saying do not ever think about them or ponder upon these things, but it's more about finding ways to cope, or talking to other people. And this way you won't get deterred by the bad things happen in medicine, and instead you focus on the good things. Like for me personally, what I do is I just think of what the rapper Eminem said. He's my favorite rapper. So one time he said, you know, I'm not making music for all of the MTV people or like, you know, Hollywood or whatever. This you know, social media, whatever, all of that. Just I don't make it for like people or clout or, you know, money. He's like, I just do it because maybe one kid out there will actually benefit from my music. Maybe one kid will actually, you know, be inspired by my music, and that helps them. And he said that's all I'm doing this for. And for me, it's the same thing. You know, hopefully in the future as a physician, if there's even just one person whose life I can improve, even just one person who benefits even the smallest amount, no matter how many bad things I might have to see happen or people that I cannot help just due to the circumstances, as long as there's that one person that I felt like I actually helped to make a difference and they felt that way too, then I feel like it's worth it to me. You know, it's worth going through all of the dark things in medicine just for that one person. So yeah, these are the 4 things I'd say that develop the mentality of becoming a physician: self-sacrifice, having a deep sense of empathy, leadership skills, and being stone cold. You have to somehow find ways, build some kind of mental stance that allows you to get through the bad parts of medicine, and, you know, just take in the good. That's going to conclude this video. I'll see you back all next week on Friday. Have a good day.